Sup everyone, it's TGSF. The FNAF lore isn't that complicated. I already did this video as a short, but since I'm kinda out of video and creativity right now, I thought you know what F it, let do an encore performance like Funtime Foxy, so I'll warn you, this isn't a timeline video. I will explain some stuff in the lore, but I won't do a full timeline since Al thought I do think the lore isn't complicated. I will say it is quite long, and with school I don't have the time to do that, maybe in the future, but not now. And before we start I wanna precise I will talk about where I feel popular theorists are wrong and criticize their theory, but this shouldn't be seen as a personal attack on them. Remember to always be respectful because at the end of day Freddy. So first to understand it I will split the lore into two parts. The first half is the Afton era that will cover FNAF 1 to UCN and potentially Fazbear Fright, and the second half is the Mimic era, so the current era, and while you would expect me to start with the first part I will actually starting with the Mimic half, because it legit the easiest part of the lore. All you have to do is read a book literally. I know it hard for y'all TikTok brain, but if you do an effort to just read you have the Mimic lore. The only reason people see this as complicated is because you guys just listen at what popular theorists say until you can't follow what they say, and popular FNAF theorists trend to overlook and underlook at the same time. For example, Henry Emily and Edwin Murray are said to be the same person by theorists, but when you look at them all their similarities stop at maybe narrative parallels, and speaking of parallels, this really will make the lore 10 times more complicated if you see the book as just that. If Edwin is Henry, how is he still alive to even see the Pizzaplex? If Charlie is David, why are their deaths so different? If the Mimic is Baby and Baby's Endo, why are they so different? Why did Scott make a full-on book giving a full-on backstory that isn't even true? And before any of y'all bring up the novel trilogy having a non-canon backstory for Henry or something, the novel trilogy is supposed to be its own thing while Fazbear Fright and Tale are stated to be usable to solve the lore. Literally parallels is legit just nitpicking for your headcanon. So yeah, just accept everyone from the first half of the story is dead and the book are canon, then the lore become way easier when you don't overthink. Now about the first half of the story, the Afton era, it even easier, just play the game, find the Easter egg, make a timeline of event, and that pretty much it. Most thing are really easy. The most complicated part of the timeline is the box, Midnight Monorist, and everything about Golden Freddy, but it not like the whole series is a bunch of impossible mystery like them. At a point you gotta ask, is it even important to know what these stuff mean? Yes, I'm basically saying, ignore Midnight Motorist in the box, and you still have a coherent timeline. As for Golden Freddy, we know he's possessed by a vengeful child and probably the crying child. Does finding out if the ghost kid is Cassidy or Bob make the lore complicated and impossible? You tell me. So to conclude part 1, just play the game, get all of the Easter egg, read some of the book 2 since here are some good lore drop in here like what is FNAF 4 about, in which year does FNAF's sister location happen, spoilers it after FNAF 1 and somewhere in 1995 or later before FNAF 3. I think I wanted to say more but I forgot, and because of school I don't have much time for video, so yeah, comment your thought, tell me what you find complicated and I may explain it to y'all. I have to work on my Eleanor vid then. Mimic story. See y'all later.
Smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't trust nobody, grip the trigger. Nobody call up the gang and they come and get gang. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. It's bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30 to 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30 to 100 rounds too. All set.